What is up, our Will Feel #1 fans and viewers? This is Scott Casey Gale, Will Feel #1, and today I'm going to give you my recap and review of American Crime Story, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, Season 2, Episode 7, entitled Ascent. And I thought it was a solid episode. It wasn't as good as the previous episode, but it was a solid episode. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Episode 7 of The Assassination of Gianni Versace reveals a different side of Versace's genius. One that enabled him to build an institution, not just a bar. As of this week's episode relates to, his genius was grounded in a gift for reading people, based on institution and perception rather than on flashes of inspired brilliance. In a series of flashbacks, we learn that Johnny, perhaps with a foretaste of his premature death, has begun to shore up his legacy by encouraging his most loyal helpmate, his sister Donna, to rise as his potential successor. It is a kind of encouragement by tough love, as portrayed by Edgar Ramirez. Johnny has a fiery temperament and is prone to bursts of rage when he believes that his exacting standards are not being met. What are you? He shouted Donatella, played by terrific Penelope Cruz, as he shoves aside a collection of drawings she has assembled for his reveal. Are you a designer? No. What are you? Are you a collector of other people's ideas? He films at her. You have the opportunity to be great and you chose to assist. Time is not on their side. Johnny is using a cane as he is losing his hearing. The series has implied, as does Vulgar Favors, the book by journalist Maureen Orford, on which it's based, that Johnny is HIV positive. After reconciling, Johnny tells a tearful Donatella that they will design a dress together. As it fits the last dress I will ever make, he adds, with a touch of melodrama. This dress is not my legacy, you are. Later, at the 1992 Gala celebration in New York to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Vogue, Donatella unveils that bondage-themed dress and is an immediate sensation. The scene in which Johnny gently releases his sister's hand, letting her inhabit the limelight alone as he moves to the side, is affecting. It will be 5 years until he is murdered in Miami Beach, but it is a premonition of what is to come. Back in California, we learn more about Cunanan's career as a rent boy in the years before the 1997 killings. In an unusually amusing scene in this fairly grim series, Andrew, played by Darren Criss, is working behind the counter at a 50 drugstore. Andrew's boss, a man named Mr. Mercado, is the immigrant from the Philippines. A map of which hangs in his sparsely furnished office. Mercado tells him to stop looking at Vogue while he's on the clock. Does it ever bother you that the customers only know you as the helpful man? Andrew asks Mercado. Mercado shrugs. Later back at his mother's apartment, Andrew reacts violently after discovering that she has bought a tub of Safeway ice cream rather than his preferred brand, Häagen-Dazs. His spite towards anything every day he's described as ordinary is visceral and explosive. He slams the tub onto the kitchen floor, making a mess. When his mother asks why it matters, Andrew tells us about Ruben Mattes, the brand's founder who made it up its Danish-sounding name. It's a brief but sad moment, one that reveals how consumer abundance, or the illusion of it, has made Andrew so petulant, childish, and self-indulgent that he despises his own mother. In the gay world, we learn Andrew is more Safeway he had than Daz. At a gay bar with his handsome friend Jeff, a Navy veteran Andrew laments that he isn't approached more by men. Jeff urges him to take the initiative, but Andrew fears rejection in the same way he fears getting his hands dirty. For him, it's essential. Being told no is like being told I don't exist. He says, it's like I've disappeared or something. People get rejected every day, and we may never truly understand why most move on with their lives, while Andrew moved on to become a killer. But we're learning more about just how pernicious his fear of invisibility is, even at this early stage. When Andrew visits an escort agency, its brusque manager wastes no time in informing Andrew about the customer's preferences. Another rejection. Deciding he doesn't need help finding a sugar daddy, he browses a local newspaper, studying the arts and philanthropy pages to identify suitable targets. A target farm he stalks to the Jolly Playhouse just as planned. He catches the eye of Norman Bleachford, a wealthy interpreter whose partner, as we know from last week's episode, has recently died of AIDS. Andrew ends up becoming the kept man of Lincoln, Ascent, a friend of Norman's. It's on Lincoln's dime, proposally to look into an art acquisition, that Andrew travels to San Francisco and buys a faithful drink for a handsome young man sitting alone at the bar. That man turns out to be David, the Minneapolis architect who is visiting San Francisco for work. Up in Andrew's suite, we get an inside look at that passionate night at the Mandarin Oriental, the one that meant so much to Andrew and is fatally so much less to David. Dressed in their bathrobes after a steamy shower together, David tells Andrew about a childhood friend, Leah, who was tormented at school. He had promised to build her a house where they could escape from bullies. But later, when he told her he was gay, she never spoke to him again. She must have felt betrayed, he says. Andrew looks as if he's ready to cry, crying for the first time in the series. Once she traces a real empathy in him, and ability to take seriously the pain of others and look beyond himself. It is a fleeting moment back in San Diego. Lincoln is outraged to see a hotel bill that includes midnight champagne. He cuts up the floor of funds. Sadly, it's an unwise move. Lincoln returns to the gay bar, where he picks up a hustle and takes him home. The encounter does not end well. The man bludgeons Lincoln to death. Andrew, who was inside the apartment, evidently waiting for Lincoln, cowers in fear. The hustler, after a moment's hesitation, he does not attack him. He tried to kiss me, he tells Lincoln, previewing the gay panic defense he will use to justify the attack. Returning to Norman, Andrew feigns aggrievement over Lincoln's gruesome death. We felt sick. It's our fault, he says. We're murdered. It's our fault. You can rob us, you can beat us, you can kill us, and get away with it. But at this moment, political awakening, if it can be called that, it is short-lived. When Andrew tries to persuade Norman to come live with him in San Diego, it's obvious he just wants some money in the pool. And here's a couple of loose threads. According to Orbsburg, Lincoln Aston was in fact a wealthy gay man who was murdered in May 1995 after his relationship with Cunanan had cooled. But there's nothing to suggest that Cunanan was present for the crime. A man named Kevin Bond was convicted of the murder. The case that was re-examined after Cunanan's 1997 serial killings, but the police found no evidence that he was involved. Andrew tells his mother, Mary Ann, that he met Versace in San Francisco, now plans to travel the world with him. But when she begs Andrew to take her to Paris, she risks exposing his lies and clearly stokes his guilt. He lashes out, shoving her into a wall and fracturing her shoulder blade. It's an ugly scene and it reminds of just how dangerous Andrew's hair trigger temper is. He has a genius for wage manipulation and deception, but not for basic human decency. And I would give this episode 3.5 stars. stars. 2 thumbs up and an A plus. I mean, it wasn't a phenomenal episode. I mean, it wasn't as good as the previous episode. So it was kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a terrible episode, but I just thought I mean, they told a lot in this episode, but this episode was just weird. It just felt different. But we did get to see Versace's angry side, and we get to see that was a very interesting scene when Johnny Versace was lashing out on his sister. And Andrew Cunanan getting creepier and creepier, and that was a creepy scene when he shoved his mud into the counter. I thought that was a fraction of shoulder blade. I thought that was a creepy, intense scene. And there's 2 episodes left this season. There's 2 episodes left, and I wonder what's going to happen in the remaining 2 episodes. Because in real life, Andrew Cunanan is dead. Are they going to show Andrew Cunanan commit suicide? So are they just gonna tell us about it? But what's gonna happen in the 2 remaining episodes? This is a really good series. The acting on this show is phenomenal. I just thought this episode was kind of just solid. It wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as the previous episodes, but it was still a good episode. Anyway, comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about this episode. What do you think is going to happen in the 2 remaining episodes of Season 2? Anyway, you know who to subscribe to. You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out.